have a good Father's Day?
Oh, yeah.
Even though I'm interrupting you from you writing on the...
No, you're good, man.
Alright.
Best cycle.
Nice.
Man, now I gotta, really start thinking. Nikki Casperson?
Yep.
And then
Yeah. Nice handwriting, but nice.
I kind of write like a really scribbly,
cursive?
Yeah. Ish. I don't know what you call it.
Nice.
Dad's sister. And then, ooh, good one.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, well, happy Monday, everybody. It's been a very long weekend. Especially for us. Running Friday, Saturday, and then Father's Day on Sunday. But hey, no rest for the wicked, right? So welcome back to another episode of the Bench Racing Podcast. I'm your host, Derek Crane, and tonight our special guest is Jordan Funderburk, Lightning Sprint driver.
What's going on?
Thank you so much for coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you. How long of a drive was it?
Probably like 20 minutes.
20 minutes?
Not
Okay.
bad.
You're in Burlington?
No, I'm over in Wadsworth.
Wadsworth. Oh, an Illinois boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. I should have shaken those up. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. This episode of the Bench Racing Podcast is sponsored by Jeremy and Kylie Crane Memorial. We have a new sponsor, which is awesome, from running down in Indiana, David Crane. Don't know how we got connected. Derek Crane, David Crane, DC.
There you go.
But yep, so huge thanks to David Crane. And yeah, super sad story. They were murdered, but he wants their names to keep moving on race cars. So huge thank you. And we'll do our best to represent the Crane name. So it's gonna be they're awesome, but still sad. And then before I forget, August 5th, our live show at Hold My Beer in downtown Kenosha, which is going to be free. I'm just saying. You guys just need to show up thirsty. That's the only thing I ask. They got 40 beers on tap. And they got some, I think they have a coffee one, and they got some other stuff too. So definitely come thirsty. Have a great time. I think I've narrowed down our guests, so I will be posting that shortly. But yeah, August 5th at 7 p.m. Central. Come out for a great time. Talk about racing, have some race cars out in the parking lot and all that, and huge thanks to our gracious host, Hold My Beer of Kenosha. Alright, so we have Jordan here. Jordan, just so our fans can get to know you a little bit better, why did you pick number 17?
So, I was 17, when I really started getting serious about racing, and the other thing is my anniversary was on the 17th, so it was just the whole thing.
Anniversary?
Yeah. But I'm not gonna go into
that. Oh, you're not gonna go into that? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
No, so I just chose number 17, and I just kind of stuck with it. So.
Yep. There's sevens I feel like are taking a lot. So you put a 1 in front of it.
It's a good number.
Yeah, it's a good number. It's fast. It's a fast number for sure.
It's a lucky number.
What number can you not stand? I asked this to a couple guests ago, and I was like, I should bring that up. What number can't you stand?
I feel like 69 is way overused. So I'm gonna say that.
69. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 69. Yes. I know why, but yes. Do you have a nickname?
People call me Midgie, actually. My sister calls me Midgie. It used to be Midget.
Midget? Okay.
Yeah, because I was really small, all through school and stuff. But then she switched it to Midgie, and just kind of a way to pick on me, more than anything. But
okay. Older sister, younger sister?
Older sister.
Oh, that makes more sense. Way more sense. Okay. Do you want that to stick?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I don't mind it, actually. I think it's nice.
Next time I see you at the track, I will say, hey, Midgie.
Call me Midgie.
Yeah, and you're running Lightning Sprint, which is a midget.
Kind of a midget, car.
Yeah.
There you go.
What do you do outside of racing?
So my mom and my sister, they show horses. We go around on a circuit for that and
Nice.
go up like Jefferson, Wisconsin area. We'll go down to Indiana for a week-long road show.
Nice.
Stuff like that. So if I'm not racing, usually can find me there doing that. But if we don't have a show going on, usually I'll stay home, work in the garage on my truck, or my dad's got a Mustang, do stuff like that.
Nice. So something to do with horsepower.
Yes.
At all times. What kind of horses do you show?
So they show quarter horses and buckskins.
Okay.
So they used to be, my parents used to do paints, which is like way different. So.
Yeah, those are the ones that are like white, beige, brown.
Yeah, like a bunch of different
colors.
Yep.
Okay. Because I'm an uncultured swine, so that's why I need some clarification here.
No, you're good.
Where do you want racing to take you?
I feel like I've been thinking about this a lot actually lately. I feel like I definitely would like to get into a 410 someday.
Mm-hmm.
Not a wingless, definitely a wing car.
Get off my show. No, I'm kidding.
I love wingless. Like I would totally do a 604 wingless up here, but if I got into that level, definitely a 410.
410, yeah.
And I mean, I wouldn't want like a full scale operation, but just something, go out on the weekends, be pretty competitive in the IRA, and come home. Because the IRA is a really good show to run.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Steve puts on a good show.
Yes. So I know like to run even, they got a lot of good cars this year.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fast cars.
Yeah, I'm just trying to pull up points here. The one tab I didn't pull up. Yeah, so still Jake Blackhurst is leading it with no feature wins, but he's got 7 top 10s out of 7 features.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean like Mike Rinke, who won on Saturday, he's running 8th in points. You know, Logan Julian, like there's a lot of solid cars.
Newman's fast.
Yeah, Blake Nemi. Yeah, so to run competitive is, I mean, you're looking at Preston Root, like, yeah, it's stacked. So that'd be a trip just to be like, yeah, we finished top 10 in the IRA points.
Oh, yeah, I'd be cloud 9. You know?
Yeah.
Definitely would like to do it though, and right now, doing the mini sprints, trying to get the experience, do that for a few years, and then get in a big car. You know?
Yeah.
I want to try driving one, seeing if I like it, and then put one together type deal.
Okay.
So.
How do you like running the lightning sprints?
I love it. I love the group of guys that we've got. Everyone's super good to me. We all go back and forth, talking, drivers meetings, stuff like that, and very helpful. So I love it. I got nothing against them.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, they're a really good group of people. That's kind of what we were looking into to start, but then that was the first year that the 604 wingless car started, so I'm like, oh, wingless, that's my jam. Yeah. So close to running a lightning sprint. What do you do for a living?
For a living, I'm a union electrician.
At 18 years old.
Yes, sir.
Nice. So how long have you been working there?
Actually, this will be my 5th week with them.
5th week? Wow, so really new.
Yeah, really new.
Nice. What kind of jobs do you like to do?
So, right now we're putting in an amphitheater in Antioch.
Okay.
And I've been doing a little bit of everything there. I like the underground side of things, putting pipe in the ground, putting street lights up, stuff like that. But there's a lot of technical inside stuff I like doing, bending all the pipe and running wires and stuff like that. That's kind of my gig.
Yeah.
I like it.
Nice. Well, I know that the lightning sprints have like, starters and all that stuff too. So like, I'm sure your wiring job is going to look better and better through every car you build.
Yeah, like I'll get progressively better. But actually, my dad, he taught me how to wire with the mini sprints.
Nice.
So he kind of showed me how to read a diagram, for the wiring schematics, and I just started running with it. So.
Yeah. Are you the first racer in your family, or did your dad race or grandpa race?
I'm the first like formal racer, I guess you'd call it.
Okay.
My dad and my dad's uncle and my grandpa, they all had drag cars and stuff like that. They'd go down, run on Thursdays up at the Grove and stuff like that, but never anything like competitive like this.
Super competitive, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. And how do they like the racing?
They like it. My dad used to hate roundy round. And he's
Roundy round.
He used to not want to do it, and he's like, yeah, I can't believe we're running in a mini sprint this year, and he's like more and more getting into it, you know. And
yeah.
Super, super helpful on the car. Don't know where I would be without him, you know.
Yeah. Hey, a lot of dads, and that's the best thing about like the grassroots kind of dirt racing, not necessarily just dirt racing, but go-kart racing, and probably like some of the drag classes. Like it's all about, you know, just father, son, or, you know, families just really just trying to put their best foot forward to make the fastest car.
Yeah, and I mean, like the travel and everything that we do together is you get to spend a lot of time with your parents and people that want to support you, and that's really good too.
Yeah,
you know, it's very family oriented.
Yep. I noticed your hat. Do you have merch?
Not so. My girlfriend's parents actually had this made for me.
Oh, nice.
So I don't have anything yet, but I'm definitely looking to get into something
nice.
with that.
Okay, because I do want me a nice Funderburk 17.
I'll hook you up.
Okay.
I'll hook you up.
And then when I finally get around to, after not flipping so much,
I'll
hook you up with some 59 hats. Yeah.
There you go.
So that's a good segue onto where can our fans follow you?
I'm like social media wise, I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, Jordan Funderburk on Facebook or Funderburk Racing, and then on Instagram I'm just jfunder05.
Okay.
But yeah, I post on there quite a bit, you know, after every race, and I'll do kind of a recap, I guess.
Nice.
And post pictures.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. What's your favorite recap style? Because like now that you know Team-Eyes, and then there's other teams that are doing it, and everyone's doing it differently. Some do it through Reels, like we're doing it through Reels, through TikTok and stuff like that. Some people are just doing photos. Some people are just writing a novel. Like what's your favorite? I
kind of just do this short and sweet, you know, Facebook post, kind of thank everyone, and post kind of a picture of the car, say how we did, and that's kind of how I like to do it, you know.
Yeah, awesome. All right, so we'll get into our first topic here, and forgot to mention too, listeners, where are you listening from? Because that's always fun to see where you guys are listening or watching us from. So our first topic presented by Next Gen Pumps, veteran-owned, American-made, warranty like no other. If you need sump pumps or tires, check out Tom Brown at Next Gen Pumps in Silver Lakes. We're gonna kind of get into a little touchy subject, just because some of the posts I've seen in the last 2 days from people on both sides of the fence. Rough or smooth tracks?
What do you mean by that?
I mean rough, ruddy, character, or glass smooth.
I like smooth, just because you can kind of go Hail Mary in the corners and not worry. But at the same time, I think rough tracks kind of put bite in the car to an extent.
Yeah.
So I would say smooth.
Smooth? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I wrote here, if you want smooth run on asphalt. I do a little bit of character in the track, because it just makes you think more about like where you're gonna put the car, or when you're trying to pass a car. Like, I mean, there was an incident between Hafford and Sivia, and I mean, obviously both drivers saw it differently, but then when you watch the video, it's like, well, Hafford hit a hole and it just bounced the car up, and
it wasn't his fault.
Yeah, and Sivia was just hammered down because he was gonna build the momentum on the top side of him, so it was just, you know, it just kind of bounced up in front of him. So I do get the point of that, but at the same time, like, a Bandit did flip, but I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I was watching the top 5 go through heavy traffic on the other side of the track. But yeah, so I mean, you know, the rough tracks and stuff, and like you said when you got here about, you know, Plymouth was still pretty choppy and rough, which is where you ran on Saturday, right?
Yep.
So what did you think of that?
So Plymouth, I really like Plymouth. I think it's a really nice facility. The track surface, there were a couple lanes the other night I felt. So you could go really really low, like almost at the tire.
Okay.
Going around the bottom, and it was pretty good. It was pretty hooked up. If you run it through the middle, there were some potholes, that you kind of would hit. And then there were some ruts coming out of 1 and 2. Going into 1, coming out of 2. Bouncing the car real bad, but overall, I mean, it was the track was really tacked up, and it was good to race on. Just a little rough at points. So.
Yeah.
But like you said, you just got to think about where you're putting it and where that right rear is at. And
yeah, because like when it's glass smooth, like all you do is you tighten the car up. You can soften all the right side. Well, with the non-wing at least, you soften your right rear, you soften everything, and then you're like, yeah, I'll just lay in there. And if it's pushing, you just drive in harder, right? But the rough, when it gets rough and ruddy and holy and all that stuff, like if you soften the right rear, you're just gonna be bouncing around a lot more. So you kind of have to like draw that fine line. Now, both tracks that we ran at Friday night at Circle City and Saturday night at Wilmot were pretty much mirror image of each other. Like it was rough, but dusty. So like there's clay on the car, but when you grabbed the clay and you squeezed it, when you let go of it, it just like fell apart.
Yeah,
so it was just like,
kinda.
it was like the weirdest thing. So it's like, well, you want to tighten the car up, but you don't want to tighten it too much to where you bike. But then you don't want to have it so stiff that 20 laps in or 10 laps into your feature, like you're done, you're loose. So but yeah, would you rather have holes or ruts?
I like ruts. I think ruts actually help put bite in the car.
Yeah,
you can hit them in the right spot and kind of get it up on that and let it just dig the right rear in a little bit.
So and again, like it's still, with all the rainouts that we've been having, like it's still kind of new at Wilmot. The people there still working their.
Everyone's getting it figured out for sure.
It's getting better. There was a big. It looked like Hulk just took out a bunch of boulders of clay, just smashed them down randomly on the entry to 3. Now it's like, I can't pack that down.
Yeah, that's a little technical.
Yeah, and then you had the big hole in the center 3 and 4, which I find funny that people were still complaining about that, because like you pull up right before you eat driver's meet and you're looking at the track and I'm like, yeah, there's gonna be a hole there. Like, so don't hit it.
Yeah, just kind of go around that.
Yep. What's up, Autumn? How are you doing? Thank you so much for coming out on Saturday. Glad you had fun. But we need to make sure that we have drinks for you too at the cooler, not just water. So let me know what you drink. Bring that next time. All right, so topic 2 here. We're gonna move to Pullman Auto. So if you need a new car or new to you car, check out PullmanAuto.com. Multiple locations in Kenosha and one in Racine. This one we're going to be talking a little bit about the crash with Miles Doherty. I think I'm saying that right. Never heard it pronounced.
Yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, sounds right. It tastes right coming off my tongue. But then that was at Wilmot. But Jordan was at Plymouth with Lance's scary thing. So we'll be kind of touching on that here. So we have the press release here from Wilmot Raceway. In qualifying, a major incident occurred involving the number 8 of Delmar, Iowa's Miles Doherty. Doherty was completing his final qualifying lap when the 15-year-old made contact with the slowing 21T of Michael Reich and went airborne. Mitchell Reich, there we go, and went airborne. Lightning sprint guy, right?
Yeah, he used to be lightning sprint.
Moved up. All right. The car made heavy contact with the turn 1 wall and came to rest outside of the racing surface. Both the IRA and Wilmot safety teams were immediately on the scene to render aid. Doherty was transported to a local hospital and then transported a second time to a different medical center for continued treatment. Doherty suffered a broken right wrist, a fractured left arm, and multiple fractured vertebrae. That's the scary one. The family would like to extend a thank you to the safety crews, their fellow racers, and the community for all of the support given to Miles over the past day. Updates on Doherty's recovery will be posted on the team's Facebook page. So that was that, and then they just saw, well, it's from yesterday, on Miles Doherty Racing on Facebook. Evening update, broken right wrist, no surgery, thankfully, hairline fracture left forearm, will get a splint applied tomorrow. Fractured vertebrae fitted for a brace. Tomorrow they will x-ray to see if the brace will be enough. Surgery is still possible, but hopefully not, so we're praying for that. That is just a brace. Bruised up, banged up right knee. Able to eat, which is really good. Fabulous care providers and incredible fans. 3, 2, 1, go. Incredible fans, friends, and family. So that is from Miles Doherty from yesterday. So that is definitely a scary incident. Now, I was in staging when it happened. Just sitting there, and you know when you're sitting there and you're listening, you can hear the cars on the group, and you hear everyone go, and you're like, okay, that seems about like 2 or 3 laps. Like they should be done any second. I just heard red, and then within like a minute, the stage staff was like, you guys can unbuckle, it's going to be a minute. So then I was like, yeah, that's not good. Autumn here, that wreck was gnarly. Yes, he ended up behind the bar that's over there. So
that's brutal.
And that's really brutal. Yeah, and then I watched on Flow, and just at the very bottom of the screen, you see him just take off, but the camera never like goes back. So, very serious stuff. It's unfortunate, but at the same time, it's qualifying, and the series is getting so much faster and more compact, and I think it's getting more compact now because of the Wingless or the Wing 604 starting, where it kind of took a lot of like the middle speed guys, and they put wings on it. So now it's like everyone is just fast, and now I feel like we're pack racing. So even something little like pulling off for an issue now could create something even bigger because everyone's just on you. Right. So what are your thoughts on pulling into the infield if you have an issue in a cool-down lap? And of course this is not to... Because the driver that was also involved is a rookie and a really nice guy too. So definitely... Good. Yeah, definitely not malicious at all. But what are your thoughts on cool-down laps and pulling into the infield?
I feel like, to some extent, it kind of depends on where you're at on the track. I feel like there's been times I'll be up high, you know, and I'll go way high and just try to coast or make it to the off-ramp. But, if you're way down low and you're doing this where you're trying to cut way up to the off-ramp, you shouldn't be doing that. Just pull it in. Yeah. Pull it out of gear and stop until everything's done, and you avoid stuff like that. But it doesn't really sound like, I don't know, it doesn't sound like Mitchell was intentionally doing anything.
Yeah,
like
no.
That, it just,
like I said, from the flow, it's got the very bottom corner of the screen, so you can't really tell the space between him and the wall. Yeah. But like, I feel like Wilmot is one of the easier ones to exit. Yeah, like definitely. If you think about Angel Park's probably the easiest one because it's just right off of turn 2 on the bottom. Yeah, and you have a bunch of you have tires that are off the fence, so you can drive down there too if you needed to. But then you have Plymouth. That's like weird. The worst.
Trying to turn right out of there. Oh my gosh.
Going up a banking and then cresting right by the pit stands, and then people are running across, and you're just like, please, just no one just be standing right there, please.
Don't be a push truck.
Yes. Yeah.
I was thinking that this weekend, actually. I was like, man, I really hope I hit someone.
So, Yeah, so I think cooldown laps are for sure. I mean, I've talked about it before. I mean, last year there was basically the same incident between Bryce Andrews and Ralph Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so, and then I don't know if there's any. I don't really remember anything in 22, but I remember I was gonna beat George Giertner up. I say that loosely, even though I was not. He was gonna beat me up. I know that was gonna happen. I know. But like he did the same thing where it was a passing point night deal. He started it up front and then sank like a rock. But since it's passing points, Nathan and I are racing each other really hard with Clayton Rossman, and we're running 3 wide across the line. And he goes from the bottom to just drive straight up after the checker, and we're coming in full bore because we're gotta drive through the line. And then Nathan actually clipped his left front on Giertner's right rear. Luckily, nothing happened. So hopefully, drivers meeting, they'll be making sure like don't jam on the brakes. Like don't. I mean, I would just say just don't pull off while it's green.
Yeah.
Unless you are like on the wall.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was definitely scary. Glad he's doing all right. He sounds like he's recovering.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the only news, because I was seeing yesterday morning, you know, with Lance Fossbender, you know, speedy recovery, and I'm like, what happened to him? So, but you were there, so what do you know about Lance Fossbender's?
So I can't really say too much about it. I wasn't staging,
Okay.
but from what my parents had kind of said watching, I guess the car was still running, and it was parked going down the banking, and I don't know if it was on fire already or what the deal was, but he got out, and they said that it looked like he was trying to get himself off of fire, like roll around, and the car ended up rolling. It rolled into his leg, got caught up on his knee, and I guess he was like flailing around, and I know that the ambulance took him.
Okay.
And that's kind of the extent of what I know.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm just looking at the MSA, and it briefly just says Lance Fossbender, a longtime member and fellow competitor of the Ackright Auto MSA Sprints, was involved in a racing incident. So it's just very like vague on anything, but it does have a GoFundMe page here, so check out MSA Sprints on Facebook. There's a link there to help the family donate money for his recovery. But yeah, just a very definitely not a good weekend in Wisconsin.
No.
with crashes, with being kind of pretty gnarly.
I will say though, like everyone at Plymouth went pretty much green to checkered. I mean, there were a couple cautions, I think, but for the most part, it was a really, really good show on Plymouth's part, and that's what I think.
Well, and drivers too. Like the drivers are the
good.
ones that make it go flag a flag.
Right, I agree with you.
Yeah. Do you follow the Wisconsin Wingless at all, or when
Little
you're
bit.
when you're at the track?
Yeah,
Okay.
when I'm at the track, usually I know what's going on. But
Okay.
this weekend was kind of weird with Wilmot, and I was kind of scrambling to get my car ready. So
Yeah. So, Wisconsin Wingless. Before we change topics, because I wrote it down. Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Series. As of recording, believe only Cedar Lake was the only race. Correct me if I'm wrong, Facebook. But Cedar Lake was the only race that they did not have a red flag in the future.
I feel like they've had at least one, like at Wilmot or something, that they haven't gone red on.
I would like to think so too.
Yeah. I usually
But
think they're pretty good.
I know one was Marshall, then by default me. So if I'm doing this in order, I should actually pull up their schedule real quick, so I'll see it by date. So April 27th was rained out. May 4th was canceled because it was rained out.
Mm-hmm.
May 11th was David Walsh landing on my hood just as they were calling red or was that yellow?
Can't
Actually,
park
that
there, bud.
yeah, you can't back. Yeah. So maybe May 11th. Maybe May 11th. I can't remember. I know First Seth won that night, but no, that was the next night. Sorry. Or no, May 8th. Man, okay. Well, I know one of the Plymouths, there was a big wreck. Huge wreck. Big NASCAR Talladega style flip with, I can't think of his name now.
I know what you're thinking of.
Thompson. Lance Thompson. Eller and a bunch, and Trinity and Bryce, and then everyone's on top of each other.
Everyone kind of piled up.
Yeah. May 25th was the one that Marshall flipped and I flipped. May 31st at Eagle Valley was rained out. Cedar Lake, I think, is the one that they went flag to flag. And then Angel Park was the one where Fall flipped, Whale flip, avoiding Tommy Colburn's being spun out, poking the bear there. I know who did it, and he didn't do it on purpose.
Yeah.
And then the 8th it rained out, and then the 15th was Austin Hansen. So I think that's just becoming a product of just how fast everyone is and how close everyone's together.
Everyone's getting a lot faster.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk here about your weekend really quickly. So you qualified, where are you? You qualified 7th.
7th quick.
Nice. Out of 18.
18 cars.
Yeah, that's a pretty strong field for landing sprints.
Yeah.
Yeah, to get to the 20s, that's nice. That's real good. You were in Heat 1. You started on the pole and you went back to 4th. What happened?
I don't know. We had a lot of fuel in the car.
Okay.
And I think we kind of thought it would help it
Plan
up
it
a little bit better.
Yeah.
And it was super, super lazy.
Mm-hmm.
And Max Branham had a really good start, like a really strong start.
Yeah.
And just fell back a couple spots, and then it was like I was playing catch up. Ran really good with Tim Branham there. He raced me hard, and just barely snuck by him on the last lap. Went down low. He kind of went high, got into one of the ruts, but overall, I mean, came back 4th. Kind of sucked to fall back the couple spots, but
you still beat Tim Branham though.
I don't know. Tim's fast.
Yeah, I know.
He's been really fast.
That's what I'm saying. Like, still beat him, so that's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite driver to race with?
Brian
Strain Jr.?
Yeah.
Okay.
I love him, and his dad are awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then in the feature here, you started 4th, finished 6th. So nice top 10.
Yep.
Nice top 10.
Came back top 10. My main goal was a top 5 for the night.
Yeah.
And I would have had it if I wasn't doing acrobatics, as my mom likes to call it. We were coming out of 4 on the second to last lap.
Okay.
They threw the white as I was doing it, but came out, was running with Tim really, really good, and kind of started poking my nose at him. Had my foot in the loud pedal a little too much. Spun it around, had it on one wheel, broke the W link for the rear end. So I was just doing this the entire time, but drove it out of the 360 and got back up to 6th. So
nice.
I was just grateful for that, and the car's in one piece, you know. But we started the feature pretty strong. We were running 2nd for a while.
Okay.
For 7 or 8 laps.
Okay.
And then just kind of car got a little bit tighter, started sneaking up the banking, and everyone's fast, so they kind of snuck under me and had to play catch up again. So.
Yeah. Those are the worst.
Yeah. Brian,
he's 3 for 3 now, right?
Yeah, he's been doing really good, and I think he started like 7th or something.
Yeah, he started 7th, finished 1st.
Yeah.
So the secret was you had to start in the 4th row, because Mark Einhart started 8th on the outside of him on the 4th row, and he got 2nd.
Yeah.
So 4th row.
I told Brian going into it, I'm like, oh, you got this, dude, because just good equipment, good car overall, and he's very strategic with how he races. He finds a line. If he has to go high, he does, but he sneaks back down, and that's kind of the key in mini sprints is to stay low. I feel like
run low as you can smoothly.
Yep, shortest way around the track.
Yep. So while we're on the lightning sprints, your top 5 was Brian Strain Jr., 3 for 3 on the season. Mark Einhart finished 2nd. Nick Petska finished 3rd. Tim Brandon 4th, and Mike New finishing 5th, and then of course our guest finishing 6th. But yeah, there's quite a few movers. So
yeah.
Mike New and Petska and Einhart and Strain, they were moving. So pretty cool.
Very strong field.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm like, Jacob Irwin, 12th, and he's pretty quick.
Yeah, he was Rookie of the Year last year.
Yeah, Max Brown finished 9th. There's someone from Minnesota. Nice. Nate Kirchner.
Yep.
Nice. Getting the Minnesota people to come
All
down.
right.
Yeah, all right. All right, and then at Wilmot, your top 5 in the Wisconsin Wingless was Tim Cox. The old man still got it. Beats all the young guns. So that was awesome to see. A few yellows, a red, so it wasn't like he could just get in his rhythm and check out. So, I was winded, so I can only imagine how he felt and just being up front and cleaner. I wish I had cleaner. Eric Wilkie finished 2nd, Ryan Marshall 3rd, Chris Klemko 4th, and Jimmy Sivia finishing 5th. And your big mover of the night was Zach Radar in 6th. Started 19th, finished 6th. Thank you, Zachy Poo, for not dumping me because, yeah, Bryce and I were holding you up pretty big. We ended up 9th. We started 11th. Yeah,
Moved
it was
a couple spots.
Yeah, a couple spots. I got passed by Radar, but Hensley kind of surprised me. Bryce surprised me. First Seth was the big one. I almost threw out the deuce when I went by him on the top because the top was just so good, and I didn't know why he was running the bottom. I think he was just searching for something in the closing laps, but I really just want to be like, peace out.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then in street stocks, which I should have brought that up as a topic, but maybe next week's podcast. Street stocks. No heat races, no qualifying, nothing because of curfew to try to get everything in. Street stocks and bandits had to go to just their features based off of points. So your street stock feature winner, Josh Gehrig, that's his 2nd of the year, I believe.
That's my boy right there.
Yeah, he's moving.
I like Josh. He's good people.
Yeah. We had Dustin Holland on here a few weeks ago, and he was just like, "Yeah, Joshing." And I'm like, "Yeah, Josh G. He's quick, very quick." Robbie Olson finished 2nd. Rob Olson finished 3rd. Blake Cruiser finished 4th, and David Jones finished 5th. And then my boy, Dirty D, Dustin Holland finishing 6th. All my boys are finishing 6th. Oh man! All right. Wing cars, 410s. We had Mike Rinke picking up the feature. Paul Nieheiser finishing 2nd. Blake Niemi 3rd. Danny Schlafer 4th. Kyle Schuett 5th. Pretty good run for Kyle Schuett. Jake Blackhurst, I like him, so he finished 6th. So yeah, I can say my boy finished 6th.
Yeah, he's been fast this year, Jake Blackhurst.
Yeah, I think they finally got that 96 car rolling. I know they kind of started last year, but I think now they're just finally getting that thing really rolling.
Getting
now.
It set up,
yeah,
and everything.
Yep. And then what everyone came to see, the Bandit feature.
Mm-hmm.
From like here up, they were all on top of each other for the whole feature. It was crazy.
I heard it was really tight racing.
Yeah, door banging. But Tiny Horse Johnson, Ryan Tiny Horse Johnson picks up the feature win. Bradley Becker finishing 2nd, came out of a little retirement per se, and was leading it for like the majority of the race. Craig Cruiser finishing 3rd, David McKellips in that awesome Hot Wheels car finishing 4th, and Ryan Andrews finishing 5th. But your big mover, Scott Carpenter, 24th to 8th, plus 16. Last name Carpenter, cutting through the wood, cutting through the field. But yeah, so that was crazy. And then their feature only took 14 minutes or something. It was nuts.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they had that red, and I think they had a yellow, and that was it. So that was the results from Wilmot. Where are you going to be this weekend?
This weekend, I think we're racing Wilmot. We're with the USAC show.
Yep.
So I'm excited for that. I like watching the USACs when they come around and seeing the 410s like that. It's cool watching them come off the corner, three-wheel motion, and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
I think they're gonna get just better and better because like they are starting to get notes on Wilmot now. Like the last 2 years, it was just kind of like
kind of a guess more than anything.
And now they're kind of getting it. Like even Kyle Cummins said like the last time he was like, it looks like there's no bite, but there's bite. That's like the weirdest. And it's kind of weird.
I watched them when I was at Tri-State last year. And I was like, man, they got this place figured out being down south like that. And they were all fast. I was like, holy cow.
That's a Hopstock?
Yep.
Yep. That, talk about backing it in.
Yeah.
They are backward down the chute to get through.
They come out of the corner and they're like this facing the infield. It's crazy.
Yeah. I want to go down there sometime. But I watched T-Mez's video and he said something about how you always overheat there.
Yep.
So I was like,
It's really weird there because it's like the way that the track is, you get like next to no air down there. It's weird. For like even the mini sprint was getting hot down there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I know that they call Hopstock. I thought they were saying the glass track because like it always looks so smooth, like tacky as heck, but like smooth. But then I realized it's the class track.
The class track.
The class.
It is a cool facility down there.
Nice.
Nice grandstands. Nice track overall.
What's your favorite track that you raced at, or that you think would be your favorite to race at?
My favorite track that I've raced at, I would have to say I really like Wilmot overall. Track's a little rough sometimes, but really nice facility, nice concessions, nice grandstands, and the track's usually tacky. It's just a little rough. Place that I really want to race at though, I feel like everyone says Knoxville, but I definitely would like to go to Cedar Lake at some point.
Cedar Lake, nice.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty cool track.
Yeah, a lot of the guys came back was like, that was fun.
Yeah.
We should race there more.
Yeah.
All right, so the bench racing, or third topic, presented by RevTech Manufacturing. If you need anything made, 3D printing, CNC molding, check out RevTech Manufacturing, downtown Kenosha. Let's go. Not downtown Kenosha, but in Kenosha. Pretty close. We're going to talk plus minuses real quick from the three classes that we're running. Wingless, Jimmy Sivia for the year is plus 28, Josh Davidson plus 24, and Radar plus 21 for the season. And Radar picked up most of them this weekend, so that's crazy. And then fun little things about the fun facts, or I should say bounties, maybe. Marshall's won 5 heat races. And that's the most. And then Cox House has 3 fast times.
Yeah. Tyler's getting really quick, I've noticed.
Yeah. And he's actually moving up now. And that's scary.
He's got his stuff figured out for sure.
Yeah, that's the scary part. Like, he's fast on the bottom, but now I was watching some videos and stuff from
he's getting higher.
In the heat race, he's moving up, and I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
That is one recipe for a good butt kicking now.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of the really good ones.
Yeah.
I think.
And then having a legend like Scott, I mean, Cox House, like, come on, like, it's so cool. Street Stocks, your top 3 movers of the year so far in the A-Mains: Josh Gehrig, David Jones, and Riley Newberry. Sorry, Josh has plus 12, David Jones plus 10, and Riley Newberry plus 9. And then Bandits, the only ones that can give us a run for our money in the Wingless so far, because the Lightning Sprints aren't showing up as much schedule-wise.
It's been a really weird schedule, yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Bandits, Carpenter plus 27. And then Terry Davis plus 14, and then Robin Watchsmith, hopefully I said that right, plus 11. What's up, Joe? Thank you so much for tuning in. To our listeners listening, do you have any questions that you'd have for Jordan or myself? Feel free to comment. But yeah, so you said you wanted to run 410 wing cars. Like, do you ever want to get to like the point of like World of Outlaws, or just more like the IRA and then just kind of see where life takes you?
I'd like to get to the IRA and kind of see where life takes me from there. I feel like the Outlaws, you gotta have such a big like capital investment to get in that it's kind of unheard of, because it's like I don't really have $100,000 to go dump into a car type deal, but it would be cool to run with them because they're a cool series, good drivers, great drivers. So I think get into the IRA though, run with guys like Blackhurst, Rinke, Thiel, and see how I wind up there, and it'd be cool to run an Outlaw show for sure.
Oh yeah, World of Outlaws or High Limit?
I'm an Outlaws guy.
You're an Outlaws guy?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
I like watching them, and I think that the broadcasts are really good too on like Dirt Vision and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely an Outlaw guy.
An Outlaw guy? Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I like the midweek races. I feel like with the High Limit stuff, that's kind of like with my great uncle, that's his helmet right here, by the way, guys. That is his first helmet. Crazy that you'd race on dirt with that.
I'd be terrified.
Yeah, I'd still do it, but I'd be screaming all the way. But like he said, like he was like you raced this track on this day, so it was like basically 4 or 5 nights of the week you were racing somewhere. So I really think that's kind of what the High Limit is trying to do, is trying to get back to like weekly night racing too, just so that you have something to do too. Which if you can get the crowd out there, you get guys.
Seems kind of hard on like a work night though, or whatever.
Yeah.
For the typical person, but if you can do it, I mean, that's cool to have something to do on a Wednesday night or whenever they're racing.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they really don't have anything like in Wisconsin area, like in our portion of the state where we kind of race at, because like World of Outlaws, which is coming up July 12th and 13th. That's tastes right coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, 12th and 13th. So double, which is the first time the World of Outlaws will be double night at Wilmot, which will be awesome.
Cool.
But then the All Stars went up to Plymouth. But then really when the High Limit stuff I didn't hear anything about All Stars or High Limit going to Plymouth. So it was just kind of interesting how series kind of spring up and they just stay away from
here.
Yeah, or an area for a year or whatever. Maybe they just can't make it logistically sound like to go up north, because kind of sucks.
Yeah.
where we are, some of the tracks up north. What's up, Shay?
Be cool to have them up here though, and see them race and everything. But no, I'm definitely an Outlaw guy. I like David Gravel. He's
your guy.
Go-to.
He's your go-to. You watch him on YouTube?
Yeah.
His channel,
sure.
Nice. Yes. David Gravel's videos are like the ones that it's the hardest for me to get into. I don't know why.
Yeah, he kind of starts off his videos slow. Yeah. But I don't know. I just like watching him race. I think he's a good driver.
Yeah. Well, like right when you were pulling up, I was watching T-Mez TV from his first night back in the car from a broken collarbone. He finished third, and I was just like, yeah, his editing is a little bit different now too. And I was like, because it's more like. But then he was saying that he had issues with his front GoPro. After the video, I'm like, oh, you should have said that before, because I'm like, this doesn't feel like a T-Mez video.
Yeah, I like T-Mez too a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I've been watching some of his stuff more.
So, we were at Circle City back in 22, running USAC. Nathan came down with us, and we're walking in the pits, because I'm going to go, register or whatever, and he's like, that's T-Mez. I'm like, yeah, go say hi. No, I can't say hi to T-Mez. Why can't you say hi to T-Mez? And he's like, no. I'm like, T-Mez is like one of the guys, like, most of them are, but like, he is the guy that even if you make eye contact, he'll be like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, he'll come talk to you.
Yeah, I hope, he is so cool. And then when he won the championship at Circle City in 2022, the local stuff, we were there, so like I congratulated him. He's like, "Thank you so much." And then he's like, "So how long have you been coming here?" I'm like, "I traveled from Wisconsin to get my butt kicked by you guys." So, Shay, are the midgets racing on Sunday at USAC with USAC? I should say support race for USAC. Joe, anyone running with USAC? I believe Sunday. I know that there's been a few people. I don't want to steal their thunder or anything, but yeah, I do know that there's for sure 3, possibly 4. Well, actually, now I'm thinking about 5, but I don't want to steal anyone's thunder. So if you know, like, you can comment. You can steal their thunder from my know. But yeah, there are going to be some guys. I don't know if we're going to be going to race. Maybe. It just depends on how many cars show up on Saturday at Wilmot. Because if there's 12, but there's not going to be 12. There's probably going to be more like... You got to remember, too, that USAC runs 20 car features, not 24 cars. They will run 24 cars so they don't have a B, but if they have more than 24, they'll usually have a B main and run 20. Yeah, so just remember that, guys. If you're listening, it's a 20 car main. Vicky Wheeler, what's the top speed you've reached?
Kind of hard to say. I would say, depending on the track and what gear I've got in it, we usually average out around 100.
Yeah, weak. No,
yeah. I know, like...
Out of a motorcycle motor, that's pretty good.
in my old car, we were at 141, and I had, like, a weird gear in it. And it came off down the straight, and I looked down, and it said 115 on the stock cluster, but I don't know if it was right or not.
Is it on your rear? Is the speed sensor on the rear or on the front?
It's on the motor.
Oh, it's on the motor.
Yeah,
oh.
So that's even, like, harder to know for sure.
Yeah. You're driving, whoa, 115. Wait, are they spinning? Are they?
It says I'm doing like 200.
Yeah. Wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so
around 100.
So about 100. Okay. And at 141, I can only imagine.
That was me, like, diamonding up the banking and just coming straight down.
Using every bit of every horsepower in that motor and the banking.
You're sitting in there going, come on.
Hopping in the seat, loosening your belts like a go-kart. Oh,
yeah,
man.
It's like, I need more.
Alright, so the top speed I think I've gotten in the sprint car was like maybe 120.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing. It's nothing. Because it was on a half mile, or 0.4 mile. But, like, I don't know, those big tracks just, I don't know.
It's weird. It's such a surreal feeling when you're going that fast. It's like, it doesn't feel like you're going that fast, but then I think it's because you're around other people.
Yeah.
You know? And then it's like you're, holy crap, you know?
Yeah, well, yeah, I told my dad, it's like driving in the left-hand lane on the interstate. You're just flying.
Yeah.
And then you cross the hill, and there's stop traffic.
And then you're like,
we are going fast.
Yeah.
So that's the same as you're just going into the corner, and you jump the cushion, you're like, everything is just speeds way up, and you're like, yeah, it's crazy. But I do like the bull rings because the corners are a lot tighter, so you feel faster because you're like, come off a corner, you blink, you're already in the next corner. Where in the half miles, you're just like holding the car straight, which feels so awkward in the sprint car.
Then the corners are so wide that you
so
can just kind of let the car drive itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shay, what's the biggest track, if you're listening, still, Shay, what's the biggest track that you've ran the midget on? It'd be interesting. Because I know they run it on, I mean, Kokomo's technically a quarter mile, but when you're on the wall,
yeah,
that's pretty big.
Pretty big.
And then Eldora, I know they run midgets for the 4 Crown. So
that seems like a big track for the midgets.
Yeah. And then they used to run the midgets at Belleville, and then Brian Clausen's accident there, and unfortunate accident, and then so they stopped running there. Now they have that small track. But yeah. So guys, if you want to see more of me, more of Jordan Funderburk, number 17, Lightning Sprint, come check us out at Wilmot Raceway this weekend. Now remember, it is USAC, so woohoo. the best non-wing cars in the country, drivers.
Cool show.
It's a very cool show. Wilmot adults, which is 13 plus, is $30. But then kids under 13 are free, and pit passes are $35. So at that point, you might as well just buy a pit pass, $5 more, and then you come by me. I'll tell you which guy to go look at with your phone and take pictures of their tires and the way their car sits, and then come back to me, and maybe I'll buy you a hot dog or something.
There you go. It's like, I've seen all I need to see.
Yep. I've seen offsets, ask them questions, and ask them these questions, but in a way that doesn't sound like a racer asked you that question.
Don't say he sent you.
Yeah. 3-inch numbers, no. We do not. We just talk about wheel offsets, yeah. 3-inch numbers, they'd be like, yeah, you're a driver.
You were sent by someone.
Yep. Oh, man, but this was a fun show. But yeah, it'll be fun, even more fun on Saturday. So Jordan, who would you like to thank?
First and foremost, definitely my parents. They fund a lot of what I do. They support me in every way possible. Dad's got the car ready every weekend for me, works on it at the track. Mom comes along, she helps with everything. My sister, Lake County Hose and Equipment, Bill over there, best in his field. You need anything hydraulically related for hoses, go hit up my boy.
That's where we plumb our car too. It's like County Hose.
Yep.
So
great.
Yep.
Great work. Okay.
Now I know it'd be like, oh yeah, Midgie sent me.
Yeah. So, M3 Custom Creations has my car stickered up really good.
Okay.
Did the half wrap for it. Dr. Gary Kaler with Northern Lakes Equine Practice. He's been on the car a couple years now. Always has believed in me. Best Cycle. Bill and Kelly over there, great group of guys. Go over there for anything you need mechanically related on your bike, whatever. Nikki Casperson sponsored me. Good One Performance. Matt Roebuck actually gave me a hoodie, hooked me up with a hoodie and stuff.
Nice. Matt Roebuck.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
Then our main series sponsor for the IRA Lightning Sprints is 1175 Sports Bar.
Yep.
So go out there, get a bite to eat, drinks. Really, really nice place, nice facility. So,
very clean. It's very clean. Anyone else? Nope.
Oh, MK Industries.
There you go.
Yep.
See, what was that? Because there was one more. Back to 1175 though. Like, I'm not a bar person, but like that is very nice. Top notch. It's like super clean. Nicole's awesome. And they have live bands there a lot. So I'm assuming they're gonna have a lot more because it's summer and it's gonna be nicer. And they have softball too, right? Softball?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, softball. Yeah. Check that out. And if you go to any of his sponsors or our sponsors, like definitely make sure give us a shout out because that always helps us.
Yeah.
More than you know. So with that, write these down.
There you go.
Next Gen Pumps, Pullman Auto, RevTech Manufacturing, Rouge Helmets, Ashley Bree Photography, Painters Plus, Bain Nelson, Jack's Helmet Design, Pinnacle Media Productions, Daybreak Church, Mirror Image Coatings, Toro Tents, Hold My Beer, Bricks and Minifigs of Kenosha, and then our newest sponsor, David Crane, racing with the names Jeremy and Kylie Crane. And a special thanks to my beautiful wife, Ashley, mom and dad, Mark and Gail, Big One fan, Kyle, Nathan, Lauren, my nephew Cooper, Ladders, Dave, Elliot, Hunter, Matt, Jack, Jessica. We had a bunch of people that came out last weekend, and my team too for just working so hard all winter to get a really good car together and then flipping it and then putting another good car together.
Yeah.
It's a good car. There's some stuff that we can make better, but like I'm just like let's just roll out. And like that was the whole thing too with the last weekend was just like there were some spots where I think I could have made up. Like I think we finished 9th, but I do think we could have gotten like to at least 7th, maybe maybe 6th if radar went up, because for sure I wasn't going to get back around radar. But there was just some spots where I really didn't want to put the car in, because I'm like, I just want to finish a race without coming off on the hook. It's been a month since we have not been like driving the car back, so a little bit of that. So, but yeah, like, I mean, the car's fast. I mean, me
you
and
came
Marshall,
out first race of the year, won it. I was like, there you go.
Like, and then we finished 4th, and then
Yeah.
but yeah, like, even in the heat race with Marshall, like, that was one of the most fun, which we didn't really get to talk about, unfortunately, but that's fine. This is about you guys. But yeah, it was a really fun heat race with Marshall. I mean, next to each other, and we definitely gave each other respect. Like, there were some people that are like, I would have chopped him, or if I was him, I would have chopped him. I'm like, yeah, but then we wouldn't have been racing next to each other for literally the whole heat race.
Yeah.
So the car's fast. If you can keep up with Marshall, it's a fast car, and beat Cuck's house too, and Tim. Like, so it was a pretty good heat race, and so, like, I'm feeling like I'm after that, and then putting myself in a bad situation again in the future. I'm like, let me just get a night back under.
Yeah, kind of recoup.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, we don't need to bring the third car out for USAC. Like, we got some good notes on the car now, so, because I've never driven this car before, this chassis, so, you know, every chassis is a little different.
Chassis?
Yeah, it's still Spike, yeah, but it's just a little bit, a little bit different here or there. And the shocks are rebuilt too, so the shocks are a little bit different and got new bars in it, so the car just kind of reacts a little bit different. But
sounds like it'll be fast.
Hopefully, yes.
Everything's fresh.
Yeah, everything's fresh. Yep, fresh coat of white paint too.
There we go.
So yes, and hopefully our stickers will be on the car this weekend, because the flow will be back. I mean, it did look pretty sick just being plain white. I'm a sucker for a plain white car. But and then yes, last person I have to thank is Caleb, my youngest brother. And your secret word is, oh man, I always say, like, I should think of one before we go live, and I never do. I'll never learn. Caleb, your secret word is, you should have given Marshall a right rear. There we go. I don't know. In the heat race.
I've actually got one more person I want to thank too.
Yep.
My sister's boyfriend, Josh. He's been coming along, helping out a lot, learning a lot. So he's been having the car ready for me with my dad too. So.
Nice, awesome.
Getting people into it.
Yes, yeah, and that's, the more people, the better. Last question, and then we're gonna go off air.
Okay.
But what do you think is the ideal number of pit crew members?
I don't know. I've had my mom, my girlfriend. Oh, that's the other person. My girlfriend Mia. She's been great, supportive. I've always had my mom, my sister, my girlfriend, Dad, Josh, and then occasionally Gary. So I would say, having like 3 hands in on the car is always a pretty solid number. You start to get to the point where you have too many people, and then it's like you're jumping over people to work on it more so. But I would say probably 3 or 4. Yeah,
that's. I think that's my magic number. 3 or 4 is like the perfect amount. Like, obviously, if you have more, it's nicer.
One can do fuel, one can do tires,
one can do shocks, one can push you, and then everyone is just having a better time because it's not one person doing everything.
You're moving better. Yeah. I agree with you.
Yeah. So this was a very fun show. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Next week's guest, Jake Zelmer, asphalt late model driver. And I'm sure we'll bring up Nathan's racing event because me and him have had a lot of fun throwing shade at people because we're just there to have fun.
There you go.
So I'm sure that'll be coming up on that podcast. So see you guys next Monday if you don't make it to the track. Oh, also, what's up, Jimmy IE?
Jimmy IE.
IE, late to the party as usual. We have Pistons for Hope in Pleasant Prairie on Saturday morning. So I'll have those details posted here shortly. So definitely check that out if you want to come out, sit in the car, and see a lot of really cool cars. DJ, if you want to bring a car, it's $20. and it goes directly to the Shalom Center of Kenosha. Yeah, it's in Kenosha. So it's a really good thing, a really good cause. And then they are gonna have an after party at Wilmot. So I think this is the second or third year that we're doing this. So it's a nice tradition. So, but yeah. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. He's been Jordan Funderburk. I've been Derek Crane. Peace out, Girl Scout.